that, but be pretty good.
Okay.
Let me get my script and stuff out. True. True. Okay. Are you guys ready? There you go. Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 7th Zoning Committee Work Session. My name is Douglas A. Welton. I am the chairman of the Zoning Committee. This meeting is being streamed online via YouTube in accordance with all applicable meeting statutes. Requirements of notice, access, and minutes are being met by electronic means. During our meeting this evening, we've got a couple of rules that orders of business that hopefully will help everybody be clearly communicate and understood. So if you are not talking, please mute your mic. Hot mics are not that much fun sometimes. And if you are going to make a motion, please state your name before you do that, make a motion or second. The public hearing for the zoning petitions that we're hearing tonight have been held at a previous date in front of City Council and the Zoning Committee. This meeting is not a continuation of those hearings, so there is no public input unless the committee has a specific question, in which case the committee will suspend the session and ask for the petitioner to address the issue directly. And we will begin our meeting with introductions, and I'm going to begin to my far left with Commissioner Shaw.
Erin Shaw, Planning Commission.
Melissa Gaston, Planning Commission.
Teresa McDonald, Planning Commission.
Michael Caprelli, Planning Commission.
Carolyn Millen, Planning Commission.
Thank you very much, everyone. We are hopefully awaiting Commissioner Stewart's arrival, and we'll pretend that traffic is awful wherever he is. We will also introduce the staff right now. We'll begin with Mr. Pettin.
Thank you, Dave Pettin, Entitlement Services.
Holly Kramer, planning staff.
Michael Russell, planning staff.
Joe Mangum, planning staff.
Max Oliver, planning staff.
And John Kinley, planning staff.
Emma Canarhaus, planning staff.
All right, thanks very much. Do we have folks online that we need to have introduced? Are they out there somewhere?
Can you hear us?
We can hear you. There you are. Y'all look really pretty.
This is Travis Miller with CDOT.
Isaiah Washington with CDOT.
Natalie King, CDOT.
Chris Mano, CDOT. Drew Ritter, CDOT.
All right. Thank you very much. And we will come to you all as necessary. We'll begin by taking a look at our agenda. And are there any deferrals on the agenda? Or are we supposed to do the change of date thing first, Bob? Okay. Let's see. Item number 1 on our agenda, the thing I cannot see because my iPad has gone to sleep, but you know how that is. We're going to change our November meeting, and so we need to have a vote on that. And the meeting will be changed from November 4th to November 5th. Is that correct? November 4th is election day. All right. So we're going to slide back one day. I'm sure everybody's excited. We're going to go vote. Do you guys vote in the morning or in the afternoon? Morning? Early? We got early voters? What is wrong with you people? I go on the same day all the time. I meet the same old folks and we have a great love. They even gave me some of their food last time. Do I hear a motion that we move our meeting date from November 4th to November 5th? Same bat time, same bat channel.
McDonald, motion to approve.
Millen, second.
It's been moved by Commissioner McDonald and seconded by Commissioner Millen that we move our date from November 4th to November 5th. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Then we will go forward. Now, can we do the deferrals? Thank you. You may ask a question.
That's different than the dates that were sent around like last week or the week before, right? Because I thought the other day it said 4th, like the 4th was in the list of confirmed dates. Am I wrong?
It might have been. I don't have that in front of me. So, but you're here now. This is the source of truth. Okay. That's kind of how that goes. Think of me as your source of truth, and then everything will just be okay. Can we do deferrals now, Holly? Do we have any of the petitions or hearings that we're going to do tonight that are going to be deferred?
Yes, we have 3 deferrals. Petition 2024-127 by Wood Partners, petition 2025-021 by Harold Jordan, and petition 2025-036 by Rangeworks, all deferring to November 5th, 2025.
Okay. Do I hear a motion that we accept those 3 deferrals?
Gaston, I'll make a motion that we accept those 3 deferrals, please.
Do I have a second?
McDonald, second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Gaston and seconded by Commissioner McDonald that we move, that we accept these deferrals. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That is done. Now we get on to the business of this particular meeting, and we'll start the evening with item number 2 on our agenda. And it is a rezoning petition 2016-056 by Casey Schilling Land Design on behalf of DRB Group. It's an innovative request. And those of you who know, innovative requests mean we're going to get a visit from John Kinley. John, would you tell us about your innovative request?
Sure. And I see some new faces on the zoning committee, so I will spend a little bit of time on this slide, just kind of going over what innovative requests are. So they are basically only applied to specific legacy conditional zoning districts, those being like the MX district is a common example that we see. And they allow the applicants to request modifications to the base ordinance standards, including those that you see listed on the screen there. And the applicant can request, and subject to the zoning committee approval, the modification of the base ordinance standards from the zoning ordinance at the time and the subdivision ordinance of the city of Charlotte. And then basically just to accommodate their development project, there's not really any specified criteria of what is considered to be an acceptable innovative request. So staff does review all of these prior to those coming before you all to provide the applicant's feedback, make sure that it's not going to create any sort of issues with other zoning requirements, that it's generally compatible with the development in the surrounding area, consistent with other innovative requests that we may have seen for the same project in other areas, and to make sure that we're not doing something that's dramatically different than what the zoning would require. So we can go to the next screen, Emma. This site was part of the River District zoning, which I'll cover in a minute, but it's zoned MX2. The applicant, again, is Cassie Schilling with Land Design on behalf of the DRB Group is the developer, and it's for the parcels that are kind of highlighted in that blue color there as an area denoted as Residential District 5 on the 2016-056 River District zoning plan. You can go to the next slide. So zooming out a bit, this is the River District zoning, covered a fairly large area on the west side of Charlotte. Again, the area kind of in the blue is the areas that we're talking about, and it's that original approved zoning plan has several notes that relate to the MX2 district and their ability or right to be able to seek innovative provisions. So there's a note B that says that MX2 innovative development standards for residential district, the petitioner or the assigns, meaning anybody who follows in the footsteps of the rezoning petitioner, reserves the right to seek innovative provisions or other innovative development standards in the future pursuant to the applicable process set forth in the ordinance, which again is coming before you all to get those innovative provisions approved. And then note 3A for the MX2 area, petitioner reserves the right to seek innovative provisions or other innovative development standards for the future, in the future. And then note 7A, setbacks, yards, and buffers as required by the MX2 innovative zoning district and as allowed by the innovative provisions will be provided. So with this specific area, no specific innovative standards have been established for the subject parcels. in the MX2 area. There has been innovative standards applied to another parcel that is not within the same area. So because it's a separate parcel, those innovative standards wouldn't really apply, and they were for lot size rather than setbacks like this one is. So what the default basically setbacks here would be the base standard of the ordinance. And for single family attached, which is the proposed use, the ordinance points to the planned multifamily development standards, which are in the R22 MF zoning district. So even though it's an MX2 zoning, the standards for setbacks are based on the requirements for a planned multifamily development in an R22 MF zoning district. So it's a more suburban type of standards because of being that R22 multifamily zoning district from the old code. Next slide. So the applicants are seeking innovative provisions for the parcels listed there, 3 parcels, but it really only applies to the area of those parcels that are being developed to single family attached dwellings. And we'll see that on the site plan here in a minute. The request is three requests: a reduction of the corner side setback from 27 feet measured from the public right of way to 10 feet measured from the public right of way, a reduction of the front setback along internal streets from 27 feet to 20 feet, and a reduction of the building separation requirement from 16 feet to 10 feet. And we can go to the next slide. So this is a kind of a zoom out of the site plan showing the 3 parcels, and then the area that's being developed with single family attached is on the east side of Dixie River Road. Dixie River Road is the main north-south street that you see running down through the site plan. And then it's single family detached on the west side. So even though the parcels would be included, the standards for innovative provisions only really apply to those single family attached units that are being proposed. And then on the next slide, Emma, if you will. So they are, again, seeking a 27-foot, a reduction of the 27-foot front setback along the internal public road to 20 feet. That's the kind of the blue call out on the bottom left-hand side there of the screen. And then 10-foot building separations between each grouping of attached units. That's the middle blue call out. They're maintaining the 27-foot setback along Dixie River Road. So just maintaining the ordinance requirement along Dixie River. That's the top gray call out. And then over on the right-hand side of the screen, 10-foot side setback along the right-of-way internal to the development site for the side orientation of those buildings, reducing that from 27 feet down to 10 feet. And then they're going to be maintaining their base ordinance requirement of 40-foot rear yard. All right, next slide. Staff recommends approval of the innovative request. The site is located in the residential district portion of the River District development, and the design intent is stated on sheet RZ 10C Note 4, states that the residential district shall be characterized by a walkable residential community with limited non-residential uses, where residents of the community will have convenient and easy access to a series of passive and active open spaces interconnected by a network of streets, sidewalks, and trails. We feel that they're still providing that, and by reducing the setbacks, it supports a more compact development, placing the buildings closer to the street, enhancing the pedestrian experience, and providing that pedestrian access to the buildings and the surrounding street network. The proposed setbacks are consistent with the N2A development standards of the UDO, so not unlike what other standards and current zoning requirements would have. And then the base ordinance setbacks of 27 feet would remain along Dixie River Road, which is the primary road that we would be concerned about in this situation. And I'll take any questions if you have any.
Thank you very much, John. Corner side setback, that was that.
Yeah, I
all the
think
way to the right?
I think in the old code, it's technically considered just a front setback. I'm used to the UDO terminology now of corner side setback. So if you're on a corner lot, you have a front setback and a corner side setback.
Okay.
But in the old code, it would have been a front setback. So and it required 27 feet on basically both street frontages there. So because of the orientation of the building being a side orientation, the
Yeah.
units aren't fronting those side streets. So that's why they are asking for that to be reduced down to 10 feet.
Okay, all right, just corner side was like which? Do I have questions from anyone else on the commission? Commissioner Shaw?
Thanks, John. That's all really helpful. So the corner side setback reduction from 27 to 10, that feels pretty extreme. How big does that make, is there a sidewalk on that side? And what is the width of the sidewalk?
Can you go back to the site plan detail? So yeah, they'll have, it's maybe a little bit hard to see, but you see where I have the call out saying 10-foot side setback along right of way.
Yes.
And there's a little measurement showing that 10 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Next to that, or to the right of that, would be the sidewalk. And then to the right of that would be planting strip and the curb. And again, remember that the setbacks are measured from the right of way in this zoning district, not from the future back of curb. So you do have that additional space at the sidewalk and planting strip before you would get to the edge of the street.
So do you know what the sidewalk width would be in that case?
I don't off the top of my head. The client or the applicants are here, I believe, so they could probably answer that question.
Hold on.
If you would like to ask the petitioner, we can suspend the session and ask the petitioner.
Sure. I'd make a motion to ask about the width of the sidewalk on the side corner setback.
Do I have a second?
I second that.
All in favor? Say aye. Aye. All right, our session is officially suspended. You can ask one very specific question.
Sure. Would you mind answering the width of the sidewalk on the corner side setback?
So we have proposed Summershade Way, 8-foot sidewalk, and then to the north to in Parker Lane, we have a greenway with, I believe it's 12-foot sidewalk.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right. Our session will be resumed. Are there other questions from anyone? Or Aaron, are you good? Robin, you good? We've been joined by Commissioner Stewart. Where were you? Were you hiding? You were hiding? Sure. Okay. All right. We'll accept that. Sure, Robin. Sure. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Otherwise, we will just take a motion to accept this innovative request.
I have a question, Commissioner Gaston.
Commissioner Gaston.
So I just want to, so the base setback is 27. They're just asking for an exception in this particular situation. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, will this set a precedence going forward for any additional?
They're specific to individual development sites. So they're not precedent setting for other projects. Now, if someone were to, within the River District, were to come along and ask for another innovative request on a different development parcel, we would look at this one and the other innovative requests for the other parcel that have come in to see like how do they compare with one another and provide feedback to the applicants based on that. But so far, what we've seen, this is consistent with what we've seen already in the River District area for townhomes.
All right. Anybody else got anything they want to add to this mix? If not, do I hear a motion that we accept this innovative request? Item number 2 on our agenda.
McDonald, motion to approve?
Yeah, we just accept. Yep.
To accept?
Yep. Do I hear a second?
Gaston, second.
It's been moved by Commissioner McDonald, seconded by Commissioner Gaston. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Then that passes. And John, bye. As usual. We're on to item number 6 on our agenda. It's rezoning petition number 2024-113 by 410 SG Partners, LLC, and Max. Max, you weren't here last month. Where were you?
I was in Europe.
What is Europe still the same?
It's
The French government's fallen lately, so was that your fault?
it may have been.
Okay.
That would have been inadvertent. I did not caused that on
Okay,
purpose.
sure, Max. And Robin was in traffic. Can you give us the lowdown on petition on item number 6?
Yeah, petition 2024-113 is located on the southwest intersection of South Gardner Avenue and Chamberlain Avenue and Savona Mill Lane. Site's approximately 1 acre, developed with an industrial building. The property is zoned ML2, manufacturing and logistics. The proposed zoning is IMU, innovative mixed use, a conventional zoning district. 2040 policy map recommends the innovative mixed use place type, and the district is consistent with this place type. This is a conventional rezoning petition. There's not an associated site plan and would allow any use allowed in the IMU zoning district. Staff recommends approval of this petition as it's consistent with the policy map. The IMU district allows for a variety of uses that are in keeping with the character of the area. And I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Max. Does anyone have any questions concerning this petition, item number 6 on our agenda? If not, do I hear a motion for the disposition of item number 6 on our agenda?
Motion, Stewart.
Gaston, second.
Do the reading. Oh, he's taking out his glasses, people. Do you have your glasses when you were stuck in traffic?
Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2024-113 as it appears before us and the adoption of the consistency statement.
And it's been moved by Commissioner Stewart, seconded by Commissioner Gaston. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion passes. Item number 7 on our agenda, rezoning petition number 2025-032 by Queen City Land. Michael, will you give this one to us, please, sir?
Yes, this is approximately 15.8 acres located on the southwest corner of Plaza Road Extension and Hood Road and east of Windrift Road. The current zoning is neighborhood business conditional. The proposed zoning is neighborhood center conditional and neighborhood 2A conditional. The 2040 policy map recommends the neighborhood 1 place type. So for this proposal, the N2A portion of this site proposes up to 94 multifamily attached residential units. The NC portion of the site proposes a maximum of a 20,000 square foot athletic club, health fitness club, and or a type of racket tennis club. It also allows a retail plaza of up to 4,500 square feet of retail uses. They do prohibit the following uses in the NC portion, which is a vehicle fueling facility, vehicle rental facility, minor vehicle repair facility, beneficial fill site, parking lot as principal use, cemetery, accessory drive-through, and religious institutions. They do provide an 8-foot wide planting strip and a 12-foot wide multi-use path along Plaza Road Extension and 8-foot wide sidewalks and planting strips on internal roads. They also provide an 8-foot wide planting strip and a 6-foot wide sidewalk along Hood Road. They provide a mulch walking trail with benches through the common open space to the right. And they provide a minimum 10-foot wide landscape yard along the southern property, a border adjacent to existing residential. Provides public street and sidewalk connectivity to Peckham Place and Ballum Court. And they commit a portion of the site along Hood Road to remain undeveloped to help protect the existing wetlands and environmentally sensitive areas. And they provide architecture and design standards. Changes since the public hearing, they've added a note to commit all buildings contain a maximum of 4 units, which was down from 5 units. And they provided quantitative metrics for features such as number of trees, seating, paved area, and defined terms such as enhanced plantings. And they've addressed the transportation issues related to curb and gutter location, street parking, and coordination with NCDOT. Staff recommends approval of this petition upon resolution of outstanding issues. And I spoke with the petitioner today, and they've agreed to address the remaining minor issues for transportation and site design. The petition is inconsistent with the 2040 policy map recommendation for a neighborhood 1 place type. However, this petition is adjacent to properties zone M1A and designated as the neighborhood 1 place type by the policy map. The proposed site plan doesn't exceed building forms already allowed within the N1 zoning districts. So this provides a transition in density from the single-family detached development adjacent to the site to the non-residential use portions of this proposed under the NC zoning. The site plan includes a more substantial 20-foot landscape buffer along the southern property line, exceeding ordinance requirements where it borders the single-family uses. And the neighborhood center portion of the site allows access to goods and services within walking distance of the nearby residential neighborhoods. The site is located within proximity to the large Reedy Creek Nature Center and preserves. So staff, like I said, does recommend approval of this. Be glad to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Michael. Does anyone have any questions? Commissioner Millen?
I just have one. The community meeting had 8 people attend. Was any feedback positive, negative, indifferent? Do you know?
While Michael is bringing that up, our understanding of the community meeting, I think a lot of it was just a lot of what was discussed is how close the buildings would be from that residential neighborhood. If we could go back to the site plan. So how close the new proposed development would be to the single family neighborhood that's off the southwestern boundary there. I think a large portion of the meeting was focused on that. Our understanding is that there's generally been a lot of support for the non-residential uses at this site. I think that's been desired for a really long time here in this community, given the lack of goods and services in the area. So it was more of details and concerns about how the multifamily portion would interact with the neighborhood 1 existing single family.
Carolyn, if you need more detail, the petitioner's here and we can suspend if you would like more detail.
That was my main thing because I'd only heard from one person in that backs up to that area, and it was a positive, but I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't something else I was missing. But this individual told me they were happy that they were finally getting some services and commercial that they hadn't seen. So I just wanted to confirm that.
All right. Anybody else got a question, comment? Michael, I will just ask one that's kind of, when I saw the site plan, it was like, is a little trail through the woods, does it not connect to the sidewalk on Plaza Road Extension or not? Is that? Okay. All right. That's fine. Anyone else have questions, comments? If not, do I hear a motion for the disposition of item number 7 on our agenda, rezoning petition 2025-32?
Millen, motion to approve.
Caprioli, second.
Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number, I lost it, Hobson. Thank you. 2025-032 as it appears before us, and adoption of the consistency statement.
It's been motioned by Commissioner Millen, seconded by Commissioner Caprioli. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. On to item number 8 on our agenda, rezoning petition 2025-033 by BRI 1882 Innovation Park Development LLC. Michael, again, we will get the pleasure of hearing from you.
This is approximately 40.13 acres located on the northeast side of IBM Drive, south of West W.T. Harris Boulevard and west of Vinoy Boulevard. can see in the overview there, they're two separate parcels. The current zoning is research, and the proposed zoning is for neighborhood 2A conditional. The 2040 policy map recommends the campus and regional activity center place types. With the proposal, it allows up to 260 actually 250 multifamily attached and or quadruplex units in 2 building areas. The building shall contain a maximum of 6 single-family units per building, provides a 12-foot multi-use path along IBM Drive, provides a minimum of 3 of the following amenities on the site: clubhouse, butterfly garden, dog park, fire pit, grills, seating areas, art installations, and or enhanced landscaping that includes mature trees and or ornamental flowering plants. The open space areas shall consist of 4 or more of the following components: enhanced plantings, shading elements, seating options, art, interactive elements, and have a minimum dimension of 50 feet or more measured in all directions. They dedicate and convey, provide an easement over the 100-foot swim buffer of the W Creek tributary to Mecklenburg County. Walkways will be provided to connect all residential entrances to sidewalks along public and private streets. And they provide preferred architectural and design standards related to prohibited materials, pitch roof, and usable porches and stoops and garage door treatments. Changes since the public hearing, they clarify it's not 260 units, it's 250 units. They've added some variation in the number of units per building and or building length to break that up. The amenitized areas open space, including both public and private open spaces, should be a minimum of 2 acres on the northern parcel and 3 acres on the southern parcel. They are dedicating a minimum 5 acres to Mecklenburg County. They're also providing a $75,000 contribution to Greenway funding, and they are committing to coordinating an off-site trailhead access to the Innovation Park campus in collaboration with University Center partners in Mecklenburg County. The petition is inconsistent with the 2040 policy map recommendation for the campus and community activity place types. However, the petition proposes a total of 250 multifamily attached residential units to be built in quadruplex and townhome forms, offering a variety of housing types to the area. The proposed site is located adjacent to both community activity center and campus place types, offering potential access to a wide range of goods, employment opportunities, healthcare, education, and essential services. Introducing residential uses at this location will enhance the area's mixed-use character, support walkability, and contribute to a more vibrant, connected community. Currently, a large portion of the site is underutilized. It's just surface parking. The site is served by the number 50 Cats local bus route, providing other access to goods, employment, and services. And the site is in the UNC Charlotte adopted microtransit zone, which seeks to connect neighborhoods with key activity centers like University City, UNC Charlotte, and the greater University Research Park. Staff does recommend approval of this petition. We'd like to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Michael. Do we have questions from anyone?
Yes, and I have one question. Can you go back where it's talking about the open space? Is it 1 3 acres, a 1 3 acre parcel on the southern end, or is it 3 acres?
So there are 2 acres on the northern parcel.
Okay.
And 3 acres on the southern parcel.
Okay, so it should just be 3 acres.
So it'd be a
not
minimum
3 acres. Okay, gotcha.
Michael, I have a question. Is there sidewalk connectivity on the west side of IBM Drive? I was trying to find an aerial so I could see that. And I know that there are 8 billion developments out there. And I was wondering, when you, at one point you had, they were going to do some sidewalk facility for each one of these, but is there anything in between so that, you could walk to your friend's house on the other side of, the office there. And it may be there. It looks like a cow path on the aerial. And I'm wondering if that's just somebody, they've walked that, or if it's really a sidewalk. And I just haven't gotten a picture that's clear enough for me to come to that conclusion yet. And I know we've done several developments along on.
No, so far, no, it'll be.
Okay. All right. And this is a state maintained road. So they love sidewalks. Okay. That. Yeah. Does anyone else have any comments? Or,
Commissioner Caprioli.
Commissioner Caprioli.
I've got to come back here. One question. I see in the revised site plan, IBM driveway. Now that I zoom in on it, the public right of way varies. Is any part of IBM Drive a private roadway?
I don't believe it is, but I'll turn that over to our CDOT colleagues.
Hey, this is Travis Miller. IBM is public.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
That's it.
Everybody in a happy camper place? Do our motion for the disposition of whichever agenda item this is. This is number 8. See, when you switch back and forth, sometimes you lose your place. Just saying.
Yes.
Gaston, I make a motion that we approve.
Caprioli, second.
Okay. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2025-033 and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Do I hear a motion? We've got the motion. Then who motioned? Gaston motioned. I'm sorry, I blanked out for a minute. Caprioli second.
Yeah.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that was more drama than necessary, I think, on my part. We're up to item number 9 on our agenda, rezoning petition 2025-041 by Concord Charlotte Uptown LLC. It's always fun when people's cases are over. They're like, out the door, out the door. Max, would you give us the lowdown on item number 9 on our agenda?
Yep, 2025-041 is a site plan amendment request located on the east corner of 8th Street and North College Street. Site zone UMUD optional, Uptown Mixed Use District. The proposed zoning is UMUD optional SPA. Site plan amendment 2040 policy map recommends the regional activity center, and the UMUD district is consistent with the RAC place type. A little background on the site. In 2010, a 10.9 acre site was rezoned from UMUD to MUD-O to allow for the development of a multi-use project, including a hotel, which is what is on this subject site. The plan did not seek any optional provisions to modify the parking requirements, and the requirement minimum parking is 0.5 spaces per room for hotel uses in the UMUD district. The site plan amendment requests to add a optional provision to eliminate the required parking for the hotel. There is not any off-street parking located on this site, so they are renting the parking and would like to only have to rent what they need. And staff recommends approval of this petition as it aligns with the policy map recommendation. And the RAC place type discourages the development of parking lots in favor of shared parking arrangements and multimodal access. And as mentioned, the existing hotel does not include any off-street parking within its boundaries.
All right. Thank you very much, Max. Does anyone have any questions, comments? Thank you, Max, for that little bit about them renting the parking. That was not all the way in my figuring this afternoon. Do our motion for the disposition of item number 9 on our agenda, rezoning petition 2025-041.
Motion to approve.
Shaw, second.
Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2025-041 as it appears before us and the adoption of the consistency statement.
It's been moved by Commissioner Stewart, seconded by Commissioner Shaw. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. We've been unanimous all night long, haven't we? Item number 10 on our agenda, rezoning petition 2025-051 by Bow and Arrow Properties LLC. Max, because you weren't here last month, I guess you're getting a good workout this month.
They're putting me to work this month. Let's see. Petition 2025-051 is located on the east side of Parsons Street, north of Parkwood Avenue. Sites policy map recommends the neighborhood 1 place type, and the M1D district is consistent with this place type. This is a conventional rezoning petition. There's not an associated site plan and will allow anything permitted in the M1D zoning district. Staff recommends approval of this petition as the petition is consistent with the policy map. The site's larger than the typical lot in the neighborhood, and the reduced minimum lot width is the primary difference between the N1C and N1D districts. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Max. Anybody got any questions on this one? All right. Do I hear a motion for the disposition of item number 10 on our agenda?
Shaw, motion to approve.
Millen, second.
Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2025-051 as it appears before us and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. We're up to item number 11 on our agenda, and we're really rolling. Rezoning petition number 2025-064 by the Rapallo Group LLC. And Michael, this is your turn.
This is approximately 0.17 acres located on the west side of Highland Street, north of Wilkinson Boulevard, and south of Greenland Avenue. The current zoning is general commercial. The proposed zoning is neighborhood 1C. The 2040 policy maps recommends the community activity center place type. The petition is inconsistent with the 2040 policy map recommendation for the community activity place type. However, this portion of the Ashley Park neighborhood has long been established with single family homes. Goods and services can be easily accessed by residents along the Wilkinson Boulevard corridor. The N1C zoning district allows the same single-family residential uses as is currently present on a majority of the lots surrounding the site. The N1C zoning district is more consistent with the character of this area than the current general commercial zoning designation. And staff recommends approval of this site. Any questions?
Does anyone have any questions about this particular petition? If not, do I hear a motion for the disposition of item number 11 on our agenda, rezoning petition 2025-064?
Gaston, I make a motion to approve, having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition. I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2025-064 as presented and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Or second?
Stewart,
Done.
second.
It's been motioned by Gaston, seconded by Stewart. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Rezoning petition item. What? Stewart. We're up to item number 12 on our agenda, rezoning petition 2025-066 by Dreamkey Partners and Max.
Yep. Petition 2025-066 is located on the northeast corner of Samuel Street and Newland Road, west of Statesville Avenue. Site's approximately 2.27 acres and is currently undeveloped. Property is zoned UR2CD, urban residential conditional. Proposed zoning is N2B, neighborhood 2, conventional zoning district. 2040 policy map recommends the neighborhood 2 place type. So this proposed zoning is consistent with the policy map. It's conventional rezoning petition. No associated site plan and would allow any uses permitted in the N2B district. Staff recommends approval of this petition. as is consistent with the policy map. The site is currently entitled for 80 multifamily stacked dwelling units. The site is adjacent to other multifamily stacked and multifamily attached projects. There are kind of a broad mix of uses in the area, and the site's within a quarter-mile of a designated activity center and is served by transit. I would take any questions.
Thank you very much, Max. Do I hear any questions from the commission? Commissioner Mellon.
Real quick, do you by any chance know the distance between the bus routes that you've listed, those two, from this project if someone has to catch public transportation?
Yeah, there's some bus stops along Statesville Avenue, and this site is just one block essentially from Statesville Avenue. I don't know specifics in feet, but somewhere less than a quarter mile for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else got a question, comment? If not, do I hear a motion for the disposition of item number 12 on our agenda, rezoning petition 2025-066?
Aston, I make a motion to approve, having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition. I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2025-066 as it appears before us and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
McDonald, second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Gaston and seconded by Commissioner McDonald. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Item number 13 on our agenda, rezoning petition 2025-068 by PK819 LLC. And they're out again. We're losing people left and right. Emma, we haven't heard from you tonight.
Petition 2025-068 is approximately 1.70 acres located on the southeast corner of North McDowell Street and East 17th Street, west of Siegel Avenue and south of East 18th Street. The current zoning is UR2, CD, Urban Residential Conditional, and the proposed zoning is Neighborhood 1C. The 2040 policy map recommends the Neighborhood 1 place type for this site. This is a conventional petition, so there is no associated site plan. Staff does recommend approval of this petition, and this petition is consistent with the 2040 policy map recommendation for Neighborhood 1. I'll take any questions zoning committee may have.
All right, folks, do we have any questions regarding this particular petition? Conventional petitions are kind of fun. Otherwise, do I hear a motion for the disposition of item number 13 on our agenda?
Shaw, motion to approve. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2025-068 as it appears before us and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Gaston.
Steel cage death match, you guys.
McDonald, second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Shaw and seconded by Commissioner McDonald. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Item number 14 on our agenda is rezoning petition number 2025-069 by Northwood Raven. And Max, they pay you the big bucks for these things, buddy.
This is my last one. Petition 2025-069 is located on the north side of Scaly Bark, east of South Boulevard and west of Conway Avenue. Size approximately 3.4 acres. It's currently developed with commercial, office, and retail uses. The site is zoned TOD-MO, transit-oriented development mixed use optional, and TOD-RO, transit-oriented development residential optional. And those are legacy TOD districts prior to even the old ordinance, or the latest version of the previous ordinance. Proposed zoning is a site plan amendment to those two districts. 2040 policy map recommends the community activity center place type, and the TOD-M and TOD-R districts are consistent with the CAC place type. A little background, 2009, the 36.8 acre site was rezoned from B2 and R17 MF to allow for the development of a multi-use project, including both residential and non-residential uses. The plan specified a minimum square footage for retail buildings located in Parcel L at the corner of South Boulevard and Scaly Bark for and that minimum square footage was 25,000 square feet. The site plan amendment requests to reduce the minimum square footage from 25,000 to 12,000 square feet. There is a change coming. The petitioner wanted me to make you all aware that the Scaly Bark Street cross section is being updated in coordination with CDOT and Urban Forestry in an effort to preserve some mature trees. That'll change prior to the decision. But otherwise, staff recommends approval of the petition as the proposed zoning aligns with the policy map recommendation. And the subject portion of the site has not yet been redeveloped. And the TODM and TODR districts do not require a minimum square footage from retail buildings, and the site's in a walkable, transit-rich area. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Max. To the note that you made about the street cross section being doodad, are the mature trees being saved in this particular portion that's being rezoned, or is it somewhere along Scaly Bark?
It will be specifically for parcel L, which is called out in that block
Okay.
between the red arrows at the corner of Scaly Bark and South.
Okay.
That'll be what is updated with this site plan amendment. At
Okay.
least that's my understanding.
Okay.
But we'll have revised plans later this week.
All right. I'm fine with that. Anyone else got questions, comments? Do I hear a motion for the disposition of item number 14 on our agenda, rezoning petition 2025-069?
Caprielli, motion to approve. Having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by the staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend the approval of petition 2025-069 as it appears before us.
And the
Yes,
adoption.
and the adoption of the consistency statement.
Millen, second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Caprioli, seconded by Commissioner Millen. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes unanimously. Item number 15 on our agenda, rezoning petition number 2025-071 by the Harris Investment Company number 1 LLC. Emma, would you give us some details on this?
Petition 2025-071 is approximately 1.53 acres located north of Carnegie Boulevard, east of Coca-Cola Plaza, and south of Rexford Road. The current zoning is office conditional. The proposed zoning is regional activity center conditional. The 2040 policy map recommends the regional activity center place type for this site. The site plan proposes to permit the redevelopment of the 1.53 acres to accommodate a mix of office, retail, restaurant, and financial institution uses, allows for up to 68,000 square feet of office uses, 6,000 square feet of financial institution uses, and 6,000 square feet of restaurant-retail uses, together with accessory uses as permitted in the RAC zoning district. Requires that a minimum of 80% of the building's ground floor frontage along Carnegie Boulevard be activated with non-residential uses to ensure an active pedestrian environment. Provides an 8-foot planting strip and 8-foot sidewalk along Carnegie Boulevard. Commits to dedication of right-of-way from the Carnegie Boulevard center line to the back of future sidewalk with a 2-foot sidewalk utility easement. Identifies potential open space areas that exceed minimum UDO requirements. Final design will include at least 4 enhanced elements such as specialty paving, shaded structures, seating, public art, or decorative lighting in accordance with the UDO, and vehicular access from Carnegie Boulevard. Changes since the public hearing include just comments pertaining to transportation, site, and building design. For transportation comments, they updated conditional notes, they revised site access spacing and driveway per UDO standards, committed to the traffic signal installation at Rexford Drive and Roxborough Road, clarified open space and paving material language, removed references to residential developments, provided additional fire apparatus access details. Outstanding issues that remain, but we are in discussions with the petitioner about, include prescriptive standards for seating and shading elements, public art details, and a request with CDOT for a mid-block crossing at Coca-Cola Plaza. That is in discussions with CDOT's upper leadership at the moment. The staff recommends approval of this petition upon resolution of outstanding issues related to transportation, no longer transportation, but related to site and building design. The petition is consistent with the 2040 policy map recommendation for Regional Activity Center. I will take any questions you might have. I do want to point out that the agent for this petition is present if you have any specific questions.
Thank you very much, Emma. Does anyone have any questions? Commissioner Shaw.
Yeah, Emma, I just wanted to ask, I think we got a letter, have gotten a couple of times we've been reached out to by Hill, I think it's Hill Partners. And I was just curious if staff had any opinion or stance on, I know some of the issues, some of the issues may be more legal, not necessarily related to things that you guys would opine on. So just curious if staff had a opinion or position on any of those points.
On those points, it has been a conversation primarily between the petitioner and agents team and those who are expressing opposition. I believe the agent has been and the petitioner have been in contact with those in opposition, and some discussions have cleared things up, I believe. However, the agent can definitely clarify more than staff can at this moment.
Got it. Thank you.
I will say, Aaron, that I had responded back to those sending a letter and got information back from the petitioner today addressing all of those issues. Petitioner's here. If you'd like to hear that, then we can suspend.
I think it would be good to hear that unless anyone feels strongly otherwise.
All right, make the motion.
I move to suspend the meeting to allow Mr. Brown to address the points.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Colin, you had sent me a letter earlier today. I think there were probably 4 points in there that were being addressed. And so, Aaron, does that sum up?
I think so, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Colin Brown with Alexander Ricks on behalf of the petitioner. I think you've received, and we have a letter from the adjacent property owner. There were 4 points in the letter. The first was that they did not desire vehicular connectivity between the sites, which we originally had proposed. We have removed that. The second was a concern about the building height shading the other buildings. This is a 5-story building, which frankly is, I think, lower than should be built. We did perform a sun study, which we provided to show that there would not be ill impacts. Number 3 was the architecture. I always think architecture is in the eye of the beholder. You know, you may drive out there and say, that is a beautiful building from 1970 that you should match. We've responded to that. The other issue, which is substantive, I think the question came up, and we said at our community meeting, there's a pond out front. It does not function according to land design as a stormwater feature. It is a pond. We do receive stormwater from the specialty shops property. There is an easement in place where we are not allowed to vary the access that we receive, the access points where that is received. We will honor that easement. So we will still take their stormwater discharge. So those were our answers. I think I've copied you on Mr. Harris's response letter to the adjacent property owner as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we will resume our session. I have the shade maps here if anybody wants to come and look at them. I don't know if that will make you happy, but
I trust you.
okay. Carolyn's, look, see there's maps. Yeah. But does anyone else have, I think you took my question, Aaron, more or less. I was just going to make a point that we had heard from some of the neighbors. I believe the petitioner has done their best effort to address those issues, and staff is okay in a okay place. Do we have any other questions? If not, do I hear a motion for the disposition of, what is this, item 15? All right, item 15. Do I hear a motion?
Millen, motion to approve. Having reviewed a petition and considered a consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2025-071 as it appears before us and the adoption of the consistency statement.
McDonald,
second.
Second.
I'm going to give it to McDonald on this one, I think. It's been moved by Commissioner Millen and seconded by Commissioner McDonald. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes unanimously. We're up to item number 16 on our rezoning petition 2025-073 by White Lodging. And we have not heard from Joe all night. So obviously he drew the short straw.
Just been waiting patiently for my turn.
Your patience is just so lovely. Go on, Joe. Give it to us.
This site's about 2/3 of an acre, northern corner of South Tryon Street and West Bland Street. The site is vacant. Surrounding properties have seen a lot of redevelopment recent years. The current zoning is Todd UC with a proposed zoning of Todd UC EX for exception. The 2040 policy map recommends a regional activity center place type. The proposal would allow for all uses permitted in the Todd UC district. There would be a accessible recessed parking space provided along the West Bland Street frontage, would upgrade the alley and sidewalk connection along the northwest property boundary, dedicate a sidewalk utility easement to the back of sidewalk. As I mentioned, this is an EX request, and the following 4 requests are being made: to allow the future right-of-way to terminate at the future back of curb, an 8-foot amenity zone, an 8-foot sidewalk would be included within a sidewalk utility easement, to allow a 2-foot encroachment into the 20-foot setback for an 18-foot setback on South Tryon Street and West Bland Street, to allow a below-grade parking structure and underground vault within 2 feet of future right-of-way at back of curb, and to allow an enlarged curb cut and driveway along Bland Street for ingress and ingress of vehicles for pedestrian drop-off. So with those EX provisions, the requested the following community benefits are offered: to commit to building design that meets or exceeds LEED Silver standards, and to provide an enhanced pedestrian drop-off area with decorative pavers on West Bland Street. Since the public hearing, the petitioner has corrected several transportation notes and removed reference to specific uses. With the latest revised site plan. However, staff met with the petitioner last week to talk through outstanding issues. The petitioner has notified us that they have selected at staff's request, they have selected a transportation improvement in lieu of the request for the pedestrian drop-off area. And that is to add retro-reflective backplates to the signal heads for both Park Avenue approaches at South Tryon Street. So that's a backplate on the backside of the signal that draws additional attention to the traffic signal and is a common traffic safety measure. CDOT offered a menu of traffic safety or transportation improvements in the area. This is what was selected. And also, as I mentioned, the petitioner will remove the enhanced pedestrian drop-off area as a benefit, maintain the LEED certified standards for the building. Back to here. Staff recommends approval of the petition upon resolution of outstanding issues related to transportation and site and building design. Staff is still requesting that the petitioner remove an EX request for an enlarged curb cut on Bland Street. Petition is consistent with the policy map recommendation for the regional activity center place type. An EX provision allows for altering or modifying certain quantitative zoning standards and street cross-section standards for proposed development in exchange for a commitment to public benefits to accommodate unique zoning scenarios. The petition would maintain the site's existing Todd UC zoning while providing flexibility regarding 4 specific development standards. Petition offers community benefits in the form of LEED building standards. This note will be updated, providing a revised site plan. removing that enhanced pedestrian drop-off area with the retroreflective back plates. And the petition will facilitate development of the site that has remained vacant while many surrounding properties have redeveloped in recent years. I will take any questions.
Thank you very much, Joe. Commissioner Shaw, I want to see if you steal my question here, but go on.
I bet I won't. This is a really geeky question. So there was a diagram presented that I don't know that you had here that kind of showed the cars like going under the sidewalk, sort of like going like the fronts of the cars encroaching the 2 feet that they've asked to, I guess, encroach into the right of way or into the, I guess, setback. Is the intent actually to like build underneath the sidewalk or the landscaping, or is the intent that like the entire building envelope? And that's just more of a geeky, curious, trying to understand it, the structure of it question.
Right. So the intent is for some of the parking area to be beneath the sidewalk.
Okay. So it really, I mean, it will encroach, but like from the top level, it would look like the 20-foot setback or whatever the setback requirement is.
But my understanding is that the parking would not be visible from the street.
Right. But I just meant you would technically,
It would
still have your
extend
same
into the-
size sidewalk and planting strip because they're not, the building envelope would still be the same amount of setback back from the road.
So the request, there's also a request to reduce the setback by 2 feet to 18
Okay. So that's
feet
a
sidewalk.
separate, those are two separate
Correct.
requests. Got it. Okay. Thank you. That's helpful.
Does anybody else have a question? EX provisions require a community benefit. There were 4 EX provisions, but I only saw 2 community benefits. I may be misunderstanding, but were there supposed to be 4? Or are those 2 really good big ones? Or, I mean, the reflective thing on the back of the traffic light, I'm not going to go with that as a big one. So am I wrong to think that there should have been 4 community benefits?
I don't believe it's necessarily a 1-for-1.
I can understand if they were weighted in some shape, form, or fashion. And this is more or less for my edification and I guess the rest of the committee, so that we'll know the next time. For forever, we didn't see any EXs, but we've seen a couple here, I feel like, the last few months. And
So I will say, when we had the Panthers petition, that's very different. You're seeing a whole litany of
Yeah.
EX provisions where they have to, we're talking about 10 to 15 provisions, right? That they're
Yeah,
requesting
yeah, yeah.
modifications from. And we're still getting just maybe 2 to 3 community benefits. They're still large and very sizable community benefits. These provisions are very specific and small. If we could, we would probably want this to go maybe a different route and not have to go through an EX request, but this is the only avenue that we have in the ordinance to solve the problem that they have and with the type of proposal that they're doing. So yes, it is about trying to tailor the justification of the ask to the size of the community benefits itself. But in terms of what's actually required by the ordinance, it's never a 1-to-1. So you have to provide 2 community benefits and they have to fall into 2 out of 3 categories. So you have a category of city improvement, public amenity, and I'm blanking. So sustainability, which they're meeting by the LEED certification, then the city improvement is their transportation piece. So they don't have a public amenity piece, and that's largely due to the fact that there's really just not the site doesn't have space to accomplish a public amenity, public benefit. But yes, it is about trying to right size your community benefits. And we didn't feel that the requests were so large that we needed to get 2 or 3 huge community benefits out of this one. So the LEED piece is a good sustainability community benefit, and the transportation item, though it seems small, it is a request that goes above and beyond what you'd ever get out of a rezoning petition. And it's something, an improvement to the area, and you wouldn't get it through a by right project, certainly. And it's, we feel it's a much better community benefit than we were going to get through by virtue of just calling the enhanced pedestrian drop-off area community benefit, which was also just being accomplished through the EX provision itself. So that was a bit of circular logic that we weren't fond of. So this is progress.
Okay. All right. And again, that's just for us. The next time we see an EX that, we to realize that there's not necessarily a one-to-one that's being asked there. The staff is weighing these judiciously to see that they can come up with the best outcome based on the context of the rezoning that they're in. So, all right. Anybody else got any questions, comments, hints, suggestions about this project? I just want the building to be pink. Do I hear a motion for the disposition of item number 16 on our agenda, petition 2025-073?
McDonald, motion to approve. Having reviewed the petition and considered this consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition, I move that we recommend approval of petition number 2025-073 as it appears before us, and the adoption of the consistency statement as it appears before us.
Gaston, second.
It's been moved by Commissioner McDonald and seconded by Commissioner Gaston. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Then that passes those opposed? That passes unanimously. And now our final petition of the evening, rezoning petition 2025 oops, there's another one sneaking out. And that means that these folks drew the short straw, but rezoning petition 2025-074 by Jen Wei Pan. If I have butchered anything, please stop me, but that's how it goes. Michael, you will give us the details on this one.
Yes, this is approximately 2.58 acres located along the west side of Zora Road, east of Shannagary Drive, and south of Huntingbirds Lane. The current zoning is neighborhood 1A. Proposed zoning is neighborhood 1C. This is a conventional petition, and as you can see, it's right there on the South Carolina border. It's sort of a remnant piece. The 2040 policy map recommends the neighborhood 1 place type, so it is consistent. The petition site is located outside the city limits, near the South Carolina border along the west side of Zora Road. The area is largely populated with single-family residential developments, with multifamily developments on the South Carolina side along Zora Road. The proposed zoning represents a slight increase in intensity over the existing N1A entitlements and provides an opportunity for a mix of housing types. The abutting development along the site's western edge, though zoned N1A, was developed under the legacy ordinance and more closely resembles the lot widths and lot areas permitted in N1B. The primary difference between N1A, which is the current zoning, and the N1C, which is the proposed zoning, is in dimensional standards, such as the lot size and lot width. But both of them of the N1 districts permit the same uses. Because of the subject property's situational context, site access is unlikely to come through existing neighborhood streets, but rather along Zora Road or along the site's southern boundary. So with that, staff recommends approval of this petition.
Thank you very much, Michael. Do there are any questions, comments from anyone here on the commission? Hearing none, do I hear a motion? Oops, Stephanie. Go for it. Commissioner Shaw.
There was a question by Councilmember Brown in the public hearing regarding having an additional neighborhood meeting because I guess they had low turnout. Was that something that was addressed, or do we know if it was addressed? Oh, okay.
Commissioner Shaw, I'd gotten involved with the Steel Creek Steel Creek Residents Association in regard to that. I believe they had just a handful of folks at their initial, and there was some further discussion between the petitioners and the neighborhood.
Yeah, I know they did quite a bit of community outreach.
Yeah,
This is in a- not in a formal sense.
Yeah, not in a formal sense, but I talked to I guess Javier's still the president of the resident association down there. The petitioner's here. If you want to suspend and ask if they got some additional feedback, we can do that.
I trust if you've spoken to them that, I don't know that it needed to be formal. I'm good if
Yeah,
if the rest of the committee is, but I'm also okay if you want to ask.
I had gotten some, because there was some initial questions from the Steel Creek Residents Association. I believe I answered those questions, and it was just concerning some things that couldn't be accomplished from the neighborhood association's point of view.
Understood.
But I think that they had reached out and had been good about making the contacts that they needed to make. So
Perfect.
I'm
Thank
happy
you.
with that. All right. Do we hear a motion for the disposition, unless there are any other questions? Do we hear a motion for the disposition of this?
Gaston, I make a motion to approve, having reviewed the petition and considered the consistency statement prepared by staff to approve this petition. I move that we recommend approval of petition number, 2025-074, as it appears before us, and the adoption of the consistency statement.
Shaw, second.
It's been moved by Gaston and seconded by Shaw. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? There be none. That passes unanimously. Folks, we have made a fantastic meal of this agenda, and now it's time for us to